Sure, my phone is down.
Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or its affiliate and subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Some of this content may be adult in nature, so please use discretion while watching with children. Johnny, could I get you to hand me my drink right there? Just a drink. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters, or AMG Studios. Here in the beautiful Springfield, Missouri, it's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay. We got Steve Mickey Mac back in the sack with us today.
Back in the sack.
Yeah, I just had to rhyme.
Oh, okay.
On Calvary. What?
It was the 10 seconds to get first, right?
All right. It's nothing short of a miracle. My heart to you. You have closed the door, who I was before, and I see for the first. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve, and I'm glad I'm back.
Glad to have everybody on board with us today. It's a beautiful day in the Ozarks. Today we're talking about anger and adolescence. Yeah.
Wow. Big topic.
It is a big topic, and it's a very, very touchy topic. Now, tomorrow, we've got the premiere of a brand new show with John Penny and Dwayne Long. It's your call. It's going to be a great deal.
Did you text that to Steve? Did you forward that article to Steve?
No, I did not. Do I need to?
Would it help?
Do
you want the article that we're reading?
Oh, sure.
And it's good that we talk about anger and adolescence and things like that because, another thing's going to come up in this topic that we've touched on before, bullying and things like that. Yeah, Jay, could you fix the cube thing floating in the top corner? We just need to resave it. I don't know why it glitches out like that. Okay, all right. Acts Media Group is live now. We are live. We're great. Good job, guys. I'll start coming a little earlier, Jay. I got up at 7:15 and I kind of was dragging my feet on the way out. So I'll start waking up earlier. Set my alarm for later or for earlier.
Rain does that.
It looks like adolescence is cut off. That was my fault on the back screen.
All right. So for some reason, I'm forgetting where to find it.
You right-click on the actual input itself and go to title editor.
There it is. All right. No images. Desktop, right?
Yeah, you go to browse. Right underneath the picture. Browse. So that was, my fault. I should have done that while I was there.
There we go.
All right.
So it's okay. You got this.
Yep. And then you might shrink up anger man. It did. It got a little... Yeah, it's cut off, and it's the camera got a little bit off kilter. Good morning, Susan Burrows, Steve Mickey Mac.
Yes.
Love is not easily. Hey, there you go, Jay. Awesome.
Huh?
Oh, I was just noticing that you were fixing it.
I'm on the wrong one for some reason.
Layers. Huh? There you go. I think, I'm about a couple seconds late, aren't I?
Yeah.
My bad. Steve says, good morning, Susan. Good morning, all. So if you guys could like and share this, and whenever you like and follow, you get your name in the hat to be able to get drawn out, so to speak. because it's a randomly generated winner. I don't know who the winner is yet. I have not been informed as of yet who the winner of the $100 giveaway last week was.
You know, Jana Girolamo, she is so excited. She told me, she said that she was on cloud 9 for a week.
This is also appears to be a learning curve today. Now tomorrow for the learning curve. Is that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah. Tomorrow for the learning curve, Johnny Rooster is going to start. He's going to do everything. He's going to run the show. He's going to be. That's part of
the rooster is in the hen house.
All right. Do you need help over there? There you go. You got. Oh man, look at that. My grasshopper did a good job.
Hello, Stephen Hansen.
Steve Hansen. He is a
Steve-O
from our church. It's really good.
I just shared and made sure that he knew.
All right. So let me pull up this article that Jay sent me. And it's entitled Anger Across the Gender Divide. Because last week we talked about things that make children angry, and we went through age groups, but there wasn't one on adolescence. And this is going to be a good deal. But first, I'm going to like and share this. How you doing over there, Jay?
Good. How are you over there?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
I'm good. How are you?
Did you have a good weekend?
Oh, yeah. It was fun.
Did you? Awesome.
Especially yesterday. It was great. Meal was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bernice?
Miss Bernice.
Oh, my gosh.
Pot roast, man. It was like a Father's Day celebration. Definitely.
It actually was.
Feast.
It was a Father's Day feast.
And happy Father's Day to you, Steve.
Thank you.
You know, you work with children and you do a great job.
Thank you.
And I think that's an amazing thing to do.
Larry Milton's on here with us. Good to see you again,
Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Happy Father's Day to every yes.
To all them.
And I noticed there's been a lot of buzz on the internet where they're saying that Father's Day is something patriarchal and crap.
What?
Yeah, and they're making it Happy Father's Day to all the single mothers, and they're like, so they
because of the
gender issues.
Yeah.
Now, but men can't say Happy Mother's Day to single fathers, that kind of deal. But
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Anger across the gender divide. Now, I just received this. Did you get a chance to read it yet?
You did. I read some of it. Not to take away from mothers without father figures in the home,
right,
who do an excellent job.
Because it is, you guys, y'all do an excellent job.
Yeah,
that's you can't. It's a hard job.
Thank you for doing it. So you are examples to everyone of how a commitment should be.
Yes, no matter if you're the mother or the father. Although having both in a child's life is very important for becoming a well-rounded individual.
Definitely.
Because there are things that mom teaches that dad doesn't, and there are things that dad teaches that mom doesn't.
Yeah, and personality extremes are important too.
Yeah.
To have more examples to choose from, people to emulate, and
And there should be father figures to in the home to help with that.
Yeah.
As long as mothers, but when fathers, there's certain, like you said, there's certain things that fathers have to do and certain things that mothers, and children have to look up to dad doing the boy type things, and women the daughters need to be looking to mom to do the women things.
Yeah.
And then also to be able to like for boys need to to be that feminine influence.
Yeah.
And then so, and there is a divide, yes, but it crosses over and becomes one personality. It's actually God's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And sometimes I've gone to my mom for advice when she's got that soft spoken motherly advice, just but you know what I meant by earlier by saying you need to go to dad because dad's got you need there's male influence as well as female influence. And that's have you heard the deal where if when you're dating, they always look for the male to look to the mother to see how you're going to treat your wife.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now my dad was really soft-spoken and gentle, but was, as far as I could tell, hyper masculine. You know what I mean? He was all man.
Yeah.
But he was also more soft-spoken than my mother. My mother was not the soft-spoken one.
No.
It was reversed from me.
And it's still not.
She was not soft-spoken like a little sheep or a little lamb.
No.
You like how I put that in there? You like how I worked that in there?
Wow, that was good.
She carried a big stick too, along with little sticks and
all kinds
coat
of
hangers and
fly
boards, whatever she could get her hands on, man.
Spare the rod.
It could fit in the hand.
Spoil the J. That's what I say.
Oh, Jay was not spoiled. Well, actually, I was spoiled in some ways and not in others. But I'm grateful for my mother and my father.
Yeah. Well, happy Father's Day to all the men and women out there that are father figures
to
in
the
a
men.
Person's life. To the men. Yeah, because moms have Mother's Day.
The single mothers had Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Send your hate mail to.
I don't know. I'm like a yo-yo over here.
It's great,
No, but I did want to point that out because my father was the soft-spoken one. He was the gentle hand. I mean, when he had to carry a big stick,
he did. Compassion.
But it was rare.
He taught you compassion.
Yes.
And patience.
Yeah.
And your mom taught you,
none of which I've learned very well.
Fear the Reaper.
But still, yeah. Oh yeah. And the Reaper
if you're watching,
and guess what? We've missed the commercials, so we'll be right back. Oh, wait a minute. I guess I better get.
And we're back. Boy, that was
Acid. Relief.
How do you spell relief?
F-A-R-T.
Amen.
So, H2OZone.com. That's cool. That's pretty good stuff there. The music sounds better. I like it.
Oh,
it's like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Some bass there,
Yeah.
Some low.
If you were watching that in your car and you have one of those big sub speakers, it probably made it sound like you had a sack full of cans in your
trunk.
Yeah,
and vibration.
I never got that. People had the bass so loud it would vibrate their trunk. It didn't sound. What is the point of that?
It just sounds terrible.
We sound like old men. Whippersnappers in their bass. So anyways, this is Anger Across.
It's a pretty big article
by Melissa Dittman.
I know if you can get through it. Yes. There's some good points in there and helpful things, but there were some things attributed to gender-based socialization that I thought were out of line. But
both men and women are often ashamed of their anger, although it appears that they may experience their anger differently, according to ongoing research. For example, gender socialization can affect how men and women handle their anger, researchers have found. Both men and women have been poorly served by the gender socialization that they have received, says psychologist Sandra Thomas, PhD, a leading researcher in women's anger, who has recently also begun studying men's experiences with anger. Men have been encouraged to be more overt with their anger. If boys have a conflict on the playground, they act it out with their fists. Girls have been encouraged to keep their anger down. And I've known a lot of women in my life.
Yeah.
And I've known some very vindictive women. I've seen, I don't know what they mean by overt, but on men's anger. But I've seen women; they don't get angry; they get even.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think when you go to the extremes, it's different than the average.
Yeah.
And there should be something said for both, not just the average being what's the model for everybody, because that's not really fair to those who are on the extremes. But I disagree with this because, well, I don't know, maybe it follows through differently, but I think that when we're young, boys that tussle with girls and girls that tussle with boys learn from that actual experience of going physical with someone of the other gender. Why girls, that's where girls learn to internalize it, because there is a gender difference, especially when it comes to physical expression of anger.
Oh yeah.
And it's an extreme difference, and that's in the average.
Yeah.
So most of the time, like 99% of the time, if a girl expresses her anger physically on a boy, she's going to get her butt kicked. You know, if he feels like if she's really going at it and really trying to hurt him, especially young ones who don't yet have that experience of you don't hit girls. When a girl comes up pounding you in the head,
Salmon,
and you smack her back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, and I'm not saying that should happen, but I think that that's where girls learn to internalize it, is because they can't actually succeed in a physical expression of anger against anybody of any gender.
Right.
That's a dangerous and not so good outcome for them.
Which physical outbursts are not the right way to express your anger.
Because that somebody could physically get hurt.
Yeah.
There's something about extreme anger that overrides all common sense in your mind. You know,
and then you regret it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I was a kid, I got into a fight, punched some guy in the face, and then I felt bad for it. Started like crying. I was like, I'm sorry. I mean, you do things in anger that you do regret. So, I mean, that's why it's extreme. Yeah. Anger is the extreme emotion causing irrational behavior.
Some things you can't take back once you said it.
All things you can't take back once you said it.
Right. Well, I guess that's what I'm saying.
It's like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube. I got to use that analogy again. I'm going to see how many times I can make that analogy work in our conversation.
Do that.
So I'm going to move on real quick. And indeed, anger in men is often viewed as masculine. It is seen as manly when men engage in fistfights or act their anger out physically, notes Thomas, director of nursing doctoral program at University of Tennessee, Knoxville. That's a mouthful. For girls, acting out is in that way is not encouraged, she says. Women usually get the message that anger is unpleasant and unfeminine. Therefore, their anger is misdirected in passive-aggressive maneuvers such as sulking or destructive gossip, she says. I would agree with that. Good morning, Stacy Wedeking.
To you? Go back to that and reopen it.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. Stacy says, welcome back, Steve.
Thank you, Stace.
He's hip to be square. So now I do agree with that. It talks about, therefore, their anger is maybe misdirected in passive-aggressive maneuvers such as sulking or destructive gossip, she says. Yes. I think someone's on the Rooster program. Let's see who it is.
I don't know.
Anyways, we're just sitting here looking at Johnny's Johnny Rooster's guest. Anyways, destructive gossip. Yeah, I muted you. Yeah, we were just admiring your guest. I admire my guest. All right. So in her view, however, neither approach in its extreme is healthy. I would agree with that.
I would agree with that too.
It is important, Thomas says, for both men and women to be clear and forthright.
I would agree.
Yeah, in adulthood, yeah.
I think when you're young and you don't have the words to express and you find yourself in a situation where you do express anger to whatever extreme is is used to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got a bully pushing you around and you smack him in the mouth. He's going to go bully somebody else, and that's an effective expression, whereas you may not have the words to really do anything about it.
Right.
You may not even have the teachers who would be objectively intervening in it. They may have a favor.
Yeah, that's true. I mean? And they also...
Let's face it, the world is really not always fair, and it's not always safe.
Right.
And you learn that incrementally growing up.
Yes. And, you know, being a person that was bullied in school, they stop bullying you when you start punching them in the nose.
You do that? Yeah.
It only took a couple times, really.
You don't even have to win.
No. Everybody's like, okay, I got to think twice about that. Because what it is I ended up chasing the... You know, when I put up with a lot, and this guy, he just pushed the last straw, and I ended up chasing him across the school parking lot back and forth twice, and then on what used to be railroad tracks in front of the school, and this was after school hours. So, yeah. And we ended up getting into a scrap. I punched him in his jaw, and he ran away, and people heard about it the next day.
I was just going to say.
People stopped bullying me after that. I mean,
it's like cornering a cat, a domesticated cat.
Oh man,
you know you can whoop that cat
until they go crazy.
Well, even still, you know, I mean, you're not that cruel that you would do anything like that. But what I'm saying is, you're not necessarily afraid of the cat. You're afraid of the angry cat. You know what I mean? And that's because whatever you would have to do to come out on top of that would kill the cat or hurt it pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you restrain yourself, and you understand. But you understand, I'm not going to corner that angry cat because it's going to do a number on me. Yep. That's going to take some recovery time, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah. You know, like you said about getting bullied. Only this guy's brother decided he was going to wail on me, and he did a pretty good job. And so I took it out on his brother, but his brother's the one that got him to fight me, and he was our newspaper boy. He was in my mom and dad's garage, and I came back, and I just hauled off, and I just nailed him. I left hook, and I nailed him really good. And
no, we don't condone violence.
We don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
I'm protecting myself is what I was doing.
Yeah.
There's a difference between violence and protecting yourself. Yeah. And that's what I was doing. And so it got back to the next day, and it never happened. I never got not made fun of, but I never got bullied by that older brother again.
Yeah.
So,
and I think you're supposed to learn through growing up and careful teaching of your parents and through experience what how to read people and say, well, this is somebody I'm going to keep some distance between us.
Right.
And this is somebody I'm just going to walk away from. You know what I mean? You learn that.
And I did.
Yeah.
There was
women, no, girls. What is, see, because we're all boys, and you just expressed the same thing. And we were talking about our expression of anger in the most extreme situations. But what does it say about girls and women? How do they do it? Because I don't really know. I don't understand that. I heard that I read something in there about their depth of their vindictive, or they stay angry longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Women?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they internalize it.
Yeah.
But what does that mean?
That means that
and we're
late again?
Yeah. We'll be right back.
You need to resend it.
Can you send it to him because he lost it?
How did you lose it?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Hang on a second. I was going to respond to Abdad Khan says, who is your own winner this week? And the $100 winner. I'm not sure yet. We may not find out until tomorrow. I'll have to get with Jim and figure out Jim and Pam and find out which one won. Steve Hansen says, I'm listening to you guys while I work. I might not be able to respond, but I'm listening. Okay, Steve, we appreciate that. Stacy says, hey, Matt and Jay and Steve, how can I handle my dad calling me bad names whenever he gets mad at me for no reason? I've tried to tell him not to call me those bad names. Man, I don't know. Is there a way you can stop talking to him whenever he's like that? Like, if your best bet is if he's angry and he's to the point where he's calling you bad names and stuff, then your best bet is to avoid contact with them, until he cools off.
That's the best advice I could actually give myself.
Because it sounds like that he needs help. I don't know what the whole situation is there. So,
yeah.
This says, in her view, neither approach is in its extreme is healthy. It is important for both men and women to be clear and forthright when they are angry, to use problem-solving techniques in dealing with their anger. Now, all and well and good. That's all well and good. When you're an adult, you kind of hone that out.
Yeah.
That's why little boys get into more fistfights than adult men. Things are not getting better in anger behavior, notes Thomas, who cites that many incidents today of violence among children. We need to understand what anger is about before we can intervene effectively, she says. Differences in anger expression also needed. Researchers say our efforts to dislodge gender stereotypes about anger. For example, June Tangney, PhD, has called into question common assumptions about women and anger, such as the notion that women have trouble with anger. Women don't have a problem with anger, they just manage it differently, says Tangney, professor of psychology at George Mason University. Women tend not to be as aggressive as men in expressing anger and tend to talk about their anger more, she says. They are more proactive and use more problem-solving approaches in discussing a problem with the person that they are angry with, says Tangney. I guess that depends on the person, because I've seen a woman get even.
Yeah.
And it is like I would rather a guy come up and punch me in the face when he's angry. The old saying, when a man, you get into a fight with a guy and then have a beer with him,
Yeah.
That's happened to me before. I've gotten into a physical altercation with somebody and then they bought me a drink,
Yeah. But if you don't get older and learn how to use the problem solving and you continue to let it escalate to physical violence, you're not going to last long, man. When you get a little bit older, things hurt a little bit more for a little bit longer and they're harder to recover from, and so you learn to use the problem solving stuff. But I'm curious about how internalizing it for women, what that means and how it manifests itself and how it feels inside. I know that anger doesn't feel good inside. That's why I try to be direct.
It turns to poison.
I try to be direct, and I try to avoid people who would go quickly to physical, means, but also to gravitate more towards people who will actually talk and work it out and give, and to come to some kind of understanding about what happened and why.
Yeah, because once you know why, you can actually address it properly.
Yeah.
And what makes ordinary women angry day to day? In 1993, Thomas conducted a women's anger study on a large-scale investigation involving 535 women between the ages of 25 and 66. The study revealed that 3 common roots to women's anger: powerlessness, injustice, and the irresponsibility of other people. While research has not yet suggested that different factors trigger men's anger, researchers continue to uncover differences in how men and women experience it.
And with that, we'll be right back.
Yeah. After these messages, we'll be right back.
we're back.
And we're back. That's good stuff.
Wow.
Is that it? What is that you put on? What?
Peanut butter, jelly. I was trying to go
And
basic.
butter.
Oh, yeah.
Butter is good with jam
Oh,
and jelly.
butter's good. Yeah, it is.
yeah,
I think
I've done
butter's
that.
good on everything.
Butter and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Butter and
Oh, I
peanut
love
butter with a good jam
Yeah.
Yeah.
or jelly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my jam.
I prefer jam.
Huh?
I prefer jam as long as it's not raspberry or something with the
Oh.
seeds,
You're right.
I had some strained raspberry jam. What are those little pastries that they make with the cream cheese and
Oh,
stuff?
yeah. You mean
So they strained out the seeds, but the fruit was still in it. How do they do that?
I
Right?
don't know. That's sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got
because
like some seed magnet or some guy.
I,
with the little
I know what you're
magnifying
talking about.
glass.
And I always wondered that myself.
Oh,
It's
they're
like,
so good.
Larry Milton.
Yeah.
Psalm 91:1, Larry, is the Bible gateway scripture of the day. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
amen.
Now, I also have my YouVersion Bible that gives me one as well. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Now, see, that's good. That kind of ties into what we're talking about
Actually,
today.
it does.
About angry. You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
Oh, I better switch that too.
What did you switch? Oh, were they in there? Were you showing the?
No,
No, it was something else.
no, I was preparing the.
I'm seeing Johnny's guest. It looks like she has tattoos.
Yes, she does.
It's gonna be. Oh, and
She-
there it goes.
I was going to say, she's like looking all over.
Yeah. Well, while research is not answered, St. John University of New York in his research to develop a new anger disorder scale. In a survey of 1,300 people ages 18 to 90, Digasupe, I don't know how to say that, but investigated 18 subscales of anger, including how individuals experience their anger, how long the anger lasts, and what they get angry about. While he found the differences in men's and women's total anger scores were not significant, he did find differences in the way they experience anger. Specifically, men scored higher on physical aggression, passive aggression, and experiences of impulsivity dealing with their anger. They also are more often had a revenge motive to their anger and scored higher on the coercing other people. Women, on the other hand, were found to be angry longer, more resentful, and less likely to express their anger compared with men. He found that women use indirect aggression by writing off a higher number of people, intending to never speak to them again because of their anger.
I was gonna say that's what I experienced with my sisters. They would so if I was mean to them, if I would say something mean to them or
They
something,
would ignore you.
well, first they'd cry, which of course breaks your heart, makes you feel pretty
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think they would avoid me and not talk to me,
Yeah. And
and that hurts.
it does.
You don't want that in your home.
It does. I did see a meme of a female referee she was an official at was it the football game? First female, right?
Oh man.
Someone said, and then the meme was like, what did you throw the red flag for? Nothing. It's fine.
But what's the solution for a parent, and how to identify the differences? Because if they're not manifesting the same way, it complicates your ability to identify it and to do something about it. Because anger, internalized or externalized, can manifest into a real extreme problem. Like there can be you hit somebody when you get to be an adult,
you go to
can
jail. Yeah.
But you start writing off people. You find yourself, women, if they write.
Somebody calling you?
Yeah.
Do you need to take it?
No.
Oh.
But if the more and more people they write off and stay angry and resentful longer, that's not healthy either, because they find themselves isolated. And one of the key things I think about anger or strong emotion in general is talking about it.
Yeah.
So maybe listen, especially with girls. Boys may be more direct and express anger more easily, so it can be easily addressed. You can identify that.
Yeah.
But with girls, they got to express it.
Jackie Melton, welcome.
What's funny is when I worked as a cashier, I'd see little girls come in with their parents, and man, they would be chatting them up. You always knew where they were in the store. They would be
Hi, Jana.
talking about school like a first grader. All the way through the store. It's kind of funny, and there are differences.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's face it. As much as people want, we got about a minute and a half left before we do our outro music. As much as people want men and women to be equal, I mean, yes, equal rights, yes, absolutely, but we will never be identical.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, there is a physical difference between men and women. I think that men that identify as women should not be able to compete in women's sports. They need a division of their own.
Yeah.
Vice versa?
Yes, because during puberty, the muscle density changes and is way different for men than it is for women.
Yeah.
And I think that gives that person an unfair advantage over the
I think
other.
that's the reason they do it. Because why isn't it that more women are really fighting to get into men's sports? There are a few extremely, athletic women who want to be in men's sports. But once they get in there, and there's a few who have, it is not what it's cracked up to be.
No, because then, I mean,
because they're not at the top anymore either.
You got 300-pound, 300-pound guys that are solid muscle chasing you down, going to tackle you. No, it's, you
lose.
I think,
but I don't think it's socialization. I think that they learn through experience that expressing anger through physical means is not a good way for them, not a way for them to succeed at expressing anger.
Right.
That's a good thing to do. Janice said she was with her old man for 23 years, and they had arguments and never called names. They would just walk away from each other and come back when we were over it.
Yeah.
That's and that would be a great thing to do, because then you could not say things you regret. Anyways, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for the Morning Mouth with Johnny Rooster and his co-host. Looks like it's going to be a good one, followed by the bucket list.
Yeah.
Good Dr. Paul Collins and his wife Nancy. So until then, my friends, God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
And this has been
The Morning Drive.
I always like that.